Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm using this pocket-sized journal or planner to plan my language learning journey for 2023. So this journal, actually, I got it in Barnes & Noble and it's by Paper Blanks Planners. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it on the internet, but just in case, I'm gonna link it down below. So I really like this journal. As you can see, it has some really nice colors and design. I just love it and bought it for that reason. But it has also this theme that is going to be to keep all the journal together, which I also really like. So let's start by looking into this. I love language learning and I have been learning languages for the past like 2 years, different languages. But previous to that, I speak Spanish, English, and Japanese as well. Japanese I learned in Japan, and then I moved to the United States. So this is going to be some extra languages that I'm learning after those. So let's start. So at first, when you open the journal or the planner, I put in here some of this paper and some kind of stickers, washi stickers in here. And in here, I added some of the tabs, the note tabs, and in here some sticky notes, and of course put it in here with these tabs. So I wanted to add in here something that is called the hanko, that is like the sign. I put my hanko in here, and I also added in here this Japanese phrase that I really love. Is jibun no mishi wa jibun de kiriaku, and that means like open your own way or path on your own. And I think that is really true. No one else is going to be able to open your own ways. You have to do your efforts, you have to work for your own goals, and that's the way that you're going to be able to achieve them. So I really like how this turned out. Moving on, this actually, let me take this tab on. This journal actually had this, but if you can see, it doesn't open flat. So I didn't want to just see this because 2023 planner, not really interesting for me. So I just put them together in here with this tab. So after I put them together and open it, I put, of course, the 2023. In this page, the journal or the planner just came with a name, address, and all that information in some lines to put it. I didn't want to put that, so I covered it up with this kind of a sticky pad or kind of like notepad that is this one in here. So I just took one of this one and used some of the tape to put it on in here and in here. In here, I just used some stickers from washi stickers sets that I have. And in here, I added the color coding. So in 2023, I'm going to focus on these 5 languages. Japanese, I mentioned that I'm able to speak, but I'm going to explain a little bit more later on why I have it in here. So I have Japanese, Mandarin, Korean, Norwegian, and Italian, and I have colors for each of them. So moving on, we have the yearly log, which actually in here, the yearly page, in here I really like how they put it on. So I added some of these dots just to have some color. If you have watched any of my previous setup, you know that I love using these kind of dot stickers that are washi stickers. I love to add it into the yearly because you can still see the month, but you have some pop of color in there. So this actually come with only 2023, which I love because that's the main reason of using this journal, only for that year. And in here, it comes with some national holidays and celebrations. We have also in here for Canadian and some extra additional public holidays. So I just highlighted the ones that I'm gonna have the day off in case for me that is going to interrupt the language learning journey. In here, of course, I put those dates that I have in here. I put it in dots in here just to have a more visual impact for my own. In here, I have the legend of the symbols, which I really like because later on these things are gonna come into the monthly. And I really like that of this journal. That is really informative. So moving on, I have in here some tabs. I already explained this in other of my setups, but just in case you haven't seen any of those videos, I bought these tabs on Amazon. And actually, these are really good. Like, they don't come off. I use it in my other journals for this year, 2022. So I just put it on and put the name of what I want to put the tab on. Instead of buying any of those tabs on Etsy or Amazon and spend more money on each of my journals, I just use those. It actually comes with many. So that's what I did in there. So moving on into the monthly, we have this. I like this journal that you can put it in here so you have more space for the months. which is actually like a really small space. You can see my hand. This is a really small journal. But in here, I like that it comes with so many of the holidays already written down. In here, it's kind of hard because it covers up all this space, but it's okay. I can go and use my washi tape in case I'm not really interested on that day. But in here, what I'm going to use this for is just to write down any classes, any, I don't know, italki lessons with a tutor, and if I'm going to be going specifically, I want to finish the lesson by this day, I'm going to put all those specifications. And again, as I mentioned, using the holidays to see if there is any activity going out with friends or anything that is going to interrupt this language learning. And also, of course, if I'm planning any traveling or anything. But this is how I'm going to use the monthlies. So moving on, this has February, March, April, May, and goes all the way until December. And I really like that this is complete. It's January to December, and that's all. I really like that. So this is all the monthlies. And then moving on, we have some notes pages before we move into the weeklies. I put this in there. I bought some Hobonichi Teisho stickers, which they were actually really expensive and really small, but I like how it came with this. So I just put down that and put in here some sticky notes and some tabs in case I want to use it in the journal and I don't have it in hand. So I just put it to separate the page. So let me just take it out for a little bit. So in this page, I have set up some goals. So I have several pages for the goals of next year. I actually got inspired by Lindy. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's a polyglot and she is a YouTuber. Of course, if you like language learning, you know who she is. But she made a post on Instagram and I kind of like got some inspiration from her and kind of like made it in a similar way because I thought it was really useful. So what I put in here is the current language and the levels that I have, or that I think that I have. The only one that I have taken a test is Japanese. It was several years ago. So in here, I want to explain the reason why I'm learning Japanese. I'm using Japanese for work. I'm doing a lot of research with natives, and I'm going to continue doing that next year. So I want to improve my level of Japanese. Speaking skills are still really good, but I want to be better at writing and I want to be better at using like really formal Japanese. So I know like last time I took the test, I was level N2, that is intermediate advanced. So I want to study next year. It's not going to be the main focus, but I want to study and to be able to get to this level. I don't know if I'm going to take the GLPT test or no at the end of the year, but that's some of the goals. Moving into Korean, I didn't put any level. Korean, I'm on and off sometimes. So I don't really know what level I'm right now. I'm still thinking that I'm really beginner. I have to see what level I am. Mandarin, I finished all the things for my HSK2. So next year I want to move in the level 3. Italian, again, I took some lessons on italki. I was able to talk to the tutor and take some classes, but I haven't taken any formal lessons or anything. So next year I want to focus on studying in an academy and get at least for the level 2 of the beginner. In Norwegian, this year I'm working on finishing the level A1. So by next year I want to finish the level A2 or up if I can, depending. So some resources, I actually have so many resources in here. So I put some of the ones that I have. Chinese, I have so many. So for Japanese, I have the Speedomasta, but I also have the Nihongo Somatomi set. So I think I'm gonna use that one. I also have the Shin Nihongo. I have the N1 Kanji, Tage to 1000, Essential Kanji. Then for Mandarin Chinese, I have Chinese Stories for language learners. I have the set of HSK 1, 2, and 3. And you say, why do you have it in here if you are already in level 3? I think it's good sometimes to just go back and review the previous levels. I truly believe that if you are in a higher level, it's not that you cannot go back to previous levels and review to see if you really memorize everything or not. So I still have it in here. I have a course online that is Chinese 0 to Hero, and I pay until really high up levels. So I'm maybe going to that one and take it. And then I have 6 books of Chinese priests that are just reading books. And then I have several other ones. Moving on, we have the Norwegian. So for Norwegian, I have Real Norwegian i Lutefisk. That this actually was a gift from my husband's grandma. Then we have the Norwegian in 10 minutes a day, also a book that I was gifted. And then I have the Norwegian verbs and essential grammar, and I have the short stories in Norwegian and all the books from Speak Norsk. Then in Italian, I only have the complete Italian step by step, but I want to buy the stories in Italian. Then Korean, we have so many in here, so I'm just gonna mention some of them. I have the Vitamin Hangugo, the Vitamin Korean one. We have some that is reading in Japanese, so it's called the Kiro Kankokugo. I have the level 1, I have the one for vocabulary, I have the workbook, and I have many other ones, as you can see in here, which I'm not gonna mention. You may be seeing in here some b-roll about them. So in here, moving on, the focus languages. At first, I had it all the way here, but then I kind of changed my mind after I wrote it down. So my focus language, as you can see, is going to be 5 of them. So the first one that I want to focus is Norwegian. I really want to learn in a higher level next year. And then in the second top is going to be Mandarin and Italian. I want to study these ones as the second level. And then at the third level is going to be Korean and Japanese. As I mentioned, Korean I'm on and off. It's not that I really want to learn right now. I don't have like a specific near future goals for Korean, but it's more that as a hobby, I really liked it. Then moving on, I just separated each of those languages, and I have the courses, t-shirts, and channels. Some of them doesn't have information because I'm going to put it on later on. So we have in here for Korea, Hangugo, we have for Mandarin, Hanyu, then we have Nihongo for Japanese, Norsk for Norwegian, and then Italian for Italian. And then in here, I just put the months, each of the months, and I separated and put which of the languages I want to learn in that month. So I only did Q1. So this is like kind of the timeline. Moving on, I separated the Q1 until Q4. In here, I just put the days of the week. So I'm gonna put a dot on one kind of things I want to focus on that. And if you already forgot, what I mean by dot is this in here, the color coding. So I'm just gonna put a dot of which languages I want to focus on each day. In here, again, I just made a really cute kind of like set of stickers and everything like that. So that's for the goals. So now that I finished the goals, let me go back and put this separation in there so we can move on. So that's for the goals. Then moving on, I have another thing separated. If you watch my Haugen weeks set up, this one, you can see that in the front page, I added this as well. It's because I had two. The other one in the Haugen weeks is looking at the other side. So moving into the weeklies, this weekly layout, I don't know, I have to perfect it later on. But in here, I just made a line and I put the details, meaning what kind of things I'm studying for each language if I study, and hours. I just put hours, but I should put like time to see how much time I spend on that. Sometimes I only study like 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, so it depends. So I just want to see how many minutes I study a day and what I'm studying in that specific day. And here's some notes in the end of the week. I like that this has the week and is highlighted and let you know which days on which months, because I really like to see if it's the end of the month, how are my goals going? Am I doing something good or not to have those goals? So I just have this the first week. I cover up the other week in here because I'm gonna be off on all like this first week. So I don't even know if I'm gonna have time to study language or if I want to make time to study language on these days. So I just covered like January 1st, that was in the last week of December in this page. So this is going to be all the weeklies. It just comes like this. So I made the line myself. It doesn't come with the line or anything. So this is the layout that it comes with. So let's see how I'm gonna do it next year. So moving on, it has all the months until December. And then after December, you have the 2024 calendar, and it has like international holidays, which is really interesting. I really like it since learning languages, it's good to know some days what are the international holidays in different countries. In here I have another notes page, which I don't know if I'm gonna use it maybe for another holidays in another country or something. And then moving on, it has 2024, and again holidays and celebrations for 2024. I really like that it has this year at the end of the planner and not at the beginning, because if I'm not really interested in it, I just don't have to look at it. Then moving on, in here it has 2024 planner in case you want to do future planning. It goes all the way until December. And then it has international daily codes, which is really cool, again, for someone that like languages and traveling like me. Even have my country, Costa Rica, in there. And world time zones, this is also really good, mainly because I work with people in other countries every day. So it's good to know what time is it in another words. I know we have the phones and computers and everything, but sometimes it's good to have it in paper. Moving on, we have conversions in here in sizes, which is also really good. We do travel and see it. We have measurements and temperature. And here, this is the one that I'm gonna be using. So that's why you don't see any tabs on here, but instead we have the travel. This is for travel planning in holidays or birthdays. And I wanted to keep it because mainly when I'm traveling or when it's a holiday, birthday, or important celebration, I don't really take time to study languages, so it's going to interfere. So I want to fill this out with information to make sure I have that in the weeklies and in the monthlies as well. Moving on, you just have note pages. And in here, I actually counted all the pages, and it only comes with 18. So it's not so many per month. So right now, I only wrote January. Let's see how many pages I cover up with January. But it doesn't come with so many. So it came with this one that was like a address book. So I just put some stickers and actually cut it down, DIY myself after. So it's not so pretty. It has some character because I cut it down really bad and everything. But it was like just the address book, so I kept the first page. But the second page, I did this. I cut this from another on my old journals that had the future year. And then I put some stickers. And of course, in here, some sticky notes. And then I just added extra pages with a cute kind of washi tape in here. So as you can see, it's all kind of like bended down because I was trying to use this machine to put these things in here. So yeah, but this is extra information or pages in case I see something interesting on Instagram or anything about language learning. I want to keep notes of that. So this is mainly all my journal for language learning of 2023. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be focusing on Chinese, Mandarin, Korean, Italian, Norwegian, and Japanese. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of planning and productivity videos. So that's all. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.